Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Lissa Grace and I'm plein air painting today. Let's get into it. In today's video, we went to Parr Park to paint, which was really fun because it was such a pretty place with beautiful trees. It had some fall colors still out before like full-on winter hit. So it was lots of fun painting without freezing, which we almost did freeze. It was pretty cold. Thankfully brought my coffee, but we went out to paint and I was starting my adventure of painting in plein air, which basically means in the French is what in plein air means. It basically means painting outside, and I really have been interested in doing this to just observe nature and just really relax and get better at painting and see what's outside and slow down. And so that's what I'm doing today, and I'm really excited to get into this video. Okay, so I've decided to do this scene with this big tree and a little bit of the colorful trees behind it, kind of making like almost like a mountain shape, and a few of those trees back there. So first what I'm gonna do is tone my painting, and so I kind of have to like pick a color that I see kind of like behind it all, and I'm kind of seeing like a pale like grayish green, so I'm just gonna go for that. I'm just taking some of these colors. I'm gonna make a pretty pigmented color first and then go back and water it down. We're almost there. I think it needs a little more yellow. I think that's just about it. Okay, so that's what I've picked. I'm gonna get quite a bit of water to just really make this very liquidy, if that's the correct term for that. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and... So my goal in toning a canvas is so that a nice color can just like come through behind what I'm painting. So whenever I paint the things on top, there's like something behind. So I'm painting this tree and I'm just kind of going for it. I have this brown that I'm just kind of laying out the shape I see of this tree. And then I'm going in with some small dark lines to, I don't know, give the idea of bark in like a fun, simplified manner, I guess. I just thought these were really cute and fun and made the tree fun. I'm using different shades of like brown to make like dark and light colors to really bring out the dimension of the tree. I'm also making some like spirally shapes, bring out the shape of like knots in the tree. Now I'm adding some grass, just like a dark green base layer to put like dirt and leaves on. I think it's a pretty color. I think it's really satisfying to do this, honestly, with the paint and just making a solid block there. Now I'm adding like a kind of sketch for myself to put the trees in the background in kind of like a mountainy shape that kind of like leads towards the tree, I guess. Coffee break, hee. Sip, sip, yum. So I use a spiral. I'm using a spiral bound notebook right now. Partly because I'm using gouache, and using a spiral as opposed to a panel, which a lot of people do for plein air. But I'm using gouache, which doesn't necessarily work on a panel in the same way as like oil or acrylic would. Gouache is more of a watery medium, so it kind of needs the paper to absorb it. But also, I'm considering this plein air painting a study rather than like a piece, if that makes any sense. Like just practicing kind of capturing the feel of an environment is my goal, at least. So I am using a notebook right now just because it's kind of like a, if I were to sketch, it's a sketch. There's my sister. She's on her ripstick So fun. It was a really nice day. I really like how you're adding the reds in there. Like well, I don't know if they're dead leaves or color changing leaves, but I like how you're pulling that into this.
Thanks. Yeah, I see them. They kind of seem orange or red or something.
Orangish, yeah.
Brownie.
I like that. It's very pretty. And I like how you've done what you were trying to done what you said you were trying to do, of having the dimensions of like the darkers, and then it comes out to the brighter lighters. It's a very cool effect. It makes it look round.
Makes it look round. Yay. That's
Especially down here. That helps.
It's right here.
I don't know what that does, but it does something good.
I'm just trying a bunch of things. Like that's what you said, to experiment, right?
Want to come see mine?
I'm just experimenting. Yes, I would love to see yours. Oh, this is so. Look at that bark. I love the bark. Oh, the limbs are coming out.
You've got a sky speckle.
I see.
Nope.
The sky speckle.
She's gonna live there.
Pinprick of light there. The layering of colors is really nice.
Thank you.
Is this? Sorry, what is this? It's kind of a blue, like a bluish.
Yeah, I was seeing a blue-gray in there, and
That's lovely.
I started off with more of a warmer base because it is like a tree. I don't know why a tree says warm.
Your color changes are really subtle. I really like how that is working.
Thank you. I'm adding a like bluish color on top of the white color I added because my white turned pretty green since I added over my tone.
I really like your style.
Mine?
Yeah, your style.
Thank you. What do you like?
I like how it's... I feel like you're capturing the feeling of the scene.
That's my goal here today. So it's very sweet of you to say. That's just about the color of the dirt. My brother's so sweet and supportive. So I'm adding some dirt here, just a dark brown. I'm kind of using my brush to make little like shapes, like ovally round shapes, to add to the effect of it being like around piles of leaves. I'm being careful not to get it on the tree just because I don't want to have to go back and paint more of that tree if I want it. So I'm just going in where I have empty spots. I'm adding some leaves with this light brown color I have. It's really pretty, really satisfying and fun to do. Now I'm starting to like color block some trees in the background. I'm over here like thinking, okay.
Is that the sidewalk you're saying?
It's the
Parking lot.
parking lot. I'm just painting it without cars. Because I'm kind of, the word I'm going to use is diluting the background, so it's not as busy. Because there's a ton of cars, there's a lot of trees, there's a light post, there's a little guardrail, which I might do some of the guardrail, but I'm mostly, the focus is kind of like this tree, and I want to have just like the color I see back there kind of be the focus. So now I'm adding some like color from the trees in the background, just like bringing in some like yellows and stuff. Oh, look at that. Look how cool that is. I was really happy with my orange color I added. It was the exact color I wanted to get on the painting. So, yeah. Right now I am just kind of making some like large oval shapes and just using the texture of my brush to make some like spots and like leave some empty space so I can really get the idea of a tree. Make them not super symmetrical, but just free and fun and just enjoying the process. I'm adding a few dark spots to just increase the contrast in the painting. So I'm painting these trees here. I just kind of went for an all over the page blend. I just mixed everything up and it kind of made a pretty happy brown.
but I'm doing my best to simplify these trees because a lot of times it's easy to get really busy, and I don't want to kind of take the attention away from this front tree. I want these to add to it, but not like steal the show, if that makes any sense.
So I'm using just the edge of my brush to make smooth, simple lines here, and just really focusing on like what aspects of the tree I want to bring out.
Okay, this one starts a little farther forward. It's a little thicker. It's kind of sticking its tummy out. I don't know how to say that. This tree feels like a strong tree to me. It's very wide and sturdy. Trees have always been a intimidating thing for me. My dad loves trees, but I'm always like, trees, scary. Just because it's really hard for me not to look at the twigs and think, I have to paint that twig, rather than realizing that it can be a little too much. That is just like the weirdest branch. Just completely on its side.
It's really satisfying to paint these trees smooth and on the blue sky. So I'm gonna share my little secret with you guys. These leaves I actually painted a lot brighter in my painting than were actually the color of what they look like outside. I think that's a little fun thing you can do whenever you're actually painting from like outside.
For the final touch, I'm gonna just add a little bit of brightness to these trunks just to bring them out a little bit. And then I think I'll be done.
I'm actually really glad I did this to bring out these trees because I think it makes such a difference. They look so much more like part of the painting. Happy, alive. Then I added a little brightness to the ground, just add some interest. Freezing outside. And this was such a fun painting. I really, really enjoyed doing it. And it was so fun to do outside with my dad.